Have you ever wondered why surgery feels so different now than it did when we were younger? Maybe you've heard stories, someone went in for a simple procedure and just didn't bounce back the same. Or maybe you've been through it yourself and felt like the recovery was tougher than expected. The truth is, once we cross into our 70s and 80s, our bodies don't respond the same way they used to. And yet, most people aren't told what that really means, not by their doctor, not by their surgeon, and certainly not by the hospital. It's not just about the surgery itself. It's about how your brain handles anesthesia, how your muscles recover from rest, and how your mind processes stress and healing. These things matter more than ever now, and they're often overlooked. In this video, I want to walk you through 5 things every senior should do before surgery. Now, before we jump in, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from? Comment below and share your city. I always enjoy hearing from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. Point 1: Anesthesia after 70. When we think of surgery, we often focus on the operation itself, the tools, the surgeon, the outcome. But for older adults, the real turning point often comes down to how your body handles being put under. As we age, our bodies process medications more slowly. That includes anesthesia. What used to wear off in a few hours can now linger longer, making recovery feel foggy, slow, or even upsetting. Some people wake up feeling groggy or confused. Others may feel unusually emotional, agitated, or even a little lost. It's not a sign that something went wrong, it's just the brain taking a little more time to bounce back. This is why having a conversation with your anesthesiologist before the surgery is so important. Don't assume they've read your whole chart. Ask them questions directly. Things like, what kind of anesthesia will you use? Or, are there lighter or safer options for someone my age? If you've had a tough experience with anesthesia in the past, even years ago, bring it up. It matters now more than ever. Sometimes, depending on the procedure, your care team can offer a different approach. For example, instead of full general anesthesia, some patients do well with a spinal block or regional anesthesia. These options can keep you more alert during recovery, reduce the risk of confusion, and make the whole experience feel a little gentler. I remember hearing about a man named Gerald. He was 78 and going in for a hip replacement. He asked to meet his anesthesiologist ahead of time and discussed all his concerns. Together, they chose a spinal block. After surgery, he was awake, alert, and even joking with the nurses within an hour. He said it felt completely different from his last surgery years earlier. That's the kind of outcome we all want. Not just to get through surgery, but to come out of it feeling like ourselves. And it starts with knowing that anesthesia isn't just a detail, it's a key part of how you recover. You deserve to feel clear, safe, and supported from the moment you wake up. Point 2: How pre-surgery preparation shapes your recovery. Most people think the important stuff happens during surgery. But truthfully, what you do in the 2 or 3 weeks before your surgery can make just as much, if not more, of a difference in how well you recover. Think of it like this: if your body is about to go through something tough, why not give it a head start? Let's start with something simple: nutrition. As we get older, we naturally lose some muscle, and that slows healing. But if you gently increase your protein intake before surgery, it can help rebuild your strength faster afterward. You don't need to eat huge meals. Just add some good, nourishing options: scrambled eggs in the morning, a protein shake in the afternoon, or beans and fish for dinner. Small changes can make your body more ready to heal. Then there's sleep. We all know how frustrating sleep can get with age: light sleep, waking up too early, or just tossing and turning. But deep rest is when your body does the most healing. Try setting a regular bedtime, turning off screens a little earlier, and staying active during the day. These small steps can help you feel more rested heading into surgery, and that really matters. Movement is another part of preparation. Even if you're not a regular exerciser, gentle walks or light stretching a few minutes each day can help keep your blood flowing, support your lungs, and make it easier to bounce back. Some hospitals now recommend something called prehab, kind of like physical therapy before surgery. But even just walking around the house, lifting your arms, or doing breathing exercises helps. There's a woman named Helen, age 76, who was preparing for abdominal surgery. Her doctor gave her a checklist: protein foods, daily walks, and deep breathing. She stuck to it. After her surgery, the nurses were amazed at how steady she was and how little pain medication she needed. Helen said, "I treated it like training. That made all the difference. And don't forget to hydrate. Unless your doctor tells you otherwise, drinking enough water in the days before surgery can support your kidneys, keep tissues healthy, and even reduce nausea afterward." Point 3. The medications and supplements you take matter more than you think. Let's be honest, by the time we reach our 70s or 80s, most of us have a small pharmacy at home. Blood pressure pills, something for cholesterol, maybe a sleep aid or arthritis medication. And then there are the daily vitamins, the calcium, the turmeric capsules your friend swears by, or the fish oil you picked up at the store because it seemed healthy. But here's something many people don't realize: some of those everyday medications and supplements can actually interfere with your surgery or slow down your healing afterward. Even over-the-counter items. Even the natural ones. For example, blood thinners, whether prescribed or just something like aspirin or ibuprofen, can increase your risk of bleeding during surgery. Herbal supplements like ginseng, garlic, or ginkgo biloba can do the same. And others, like St. John's wort, might mess with how your body handles anesthesia. Even something as simple as fish oil can affect your blood's ability to clot. That's why one of the most important things you can do once your surgery is scheduled is to create a complete list of everything you take. And I mean everything: prescriptions, vitamins, powders, patches, drops, teas, and even any herbal remedies you might be trying. Bring it with you to your pre-surgery appointment. Don't wait for someone to ask, offer the list yourself. Say, "Here's what I take. Should I stop or adjust anything?" I remember a man named Frank. He was 81 and preparing for shoulder surgery. He'd been taking a turmeric supplement every day for his joints. It worked great for his inflammation, so he never thought twice about it. But when he mentioned it during a pre-surgery checkup, the doctor told him to stop taking it 2 weeks before his operation. Why? Because turmeric can thin the blood. That small adjustment may have prevented serious complications. Timing matters too. Some medications should be stopped days ahead of surgery. Others, like certain heart or blood pressure meds, might need to be continued right up to the morning of. That's why being open and proactive with your care team is so important. Point 4. The hospital stay and recovery may be harder than expected. Here's something no one really talks about until you've been through it: the hospital stay after surgery, especially after 70, can feel overwhelming. The bright lights, the constant interruptions, the beeping machines, nurses coming in and out at all hours. It's disorienting. And when you're just coming out of anesthesia, it's a lot for your body and mind to process. Then, when you finally get home, that's when reality really sets in. Things that used to be simple, getting out of bed, going to the bathroom, making tea, can suddenly feel exhausting. It doesn't mean you're weak. It just means your body is using a lot of energy to heal. That's why it's so important to plan for support before you need it. The people who recover best aren't always the fittest or strongest, they're the ones who prepared ahead of time. Start by thinking about who can be with you, even just for the first few days. A family member, a neighbor, a close friend. Someone to help with meals, remind you to take medication, or just sit with you so you're not alone. If you live alone, look into home health services, senior recovery programs, or local volunteer groups. Churches, senior centers, and community organizations often have people willing to lend a hand. It's also a good idea to prep your space. Clear walkways so there's nothing to trip on. Set up a comfy chair with your water, phone, and medication nearby. Prepare a few easy meals in advance, or stock up on ready-to-eat options that don't require cooking or bending. You don't want to be worrying about groceries or laundry when your body just needs rest. And remember, it's not just physical help you may need. Emotional support matters too. After surgery, many people feel more vulnerable than they expected. It's normal to feel down, anxious, or even frustrated. One woman I know, Carol, was always independent. But after a knee replacement, she realized she needed help, just someone to be there. Her daughter came over, and they created a simple routine: breakfast together, a short walk, some quiet time in the afternoon. Carol said what helped most wasn't the chores, it was knowing she wasn't going through it alone. Recovery takes time. And during that time, letting others help isn't weakness, it's wisdom. You deserve to heal in comfort, with dignity, and with the quiet strength that comes from knowing someone's there when you need them. Point 5. Your mindset before surgery affects how your body heals. One thing people often overlook when preparing for surgery is their state of mind. We focus on tests, medications, and instructions, but what about how you feel going into surgery? Believe it or not, your mindset can have a real impact on how your body handles the stress of the procedure and how well you recover afterward. This isn't just about being positive. It's about being calm, focused, and mentally ready. When your mind is overwhelmed, fearful, or scattered, your body stays on high alert, and that can slow everything down. But when you take time to prepare emotionally, your nervous system relaxes, and your body can begin to heal more smoothly. There's even research to back this up. Studies show that people, especially older adults, who go into surgery with a clear, calm mindset tend to have fewer complications, tolerate pain better, and recover faster. And the good news is, this kind of mental preparation doesn't require anything fancy. You can start with something simple like visualizing a smooth recovery. Just imagine yourself waking up, feeling clear, eating breakfast at the table, or taking a walk outside a few days later. Some people like to write down small goals: I want to walk to the mailbox by day 3, or I want to call my friend by the end of the week. These little goals give your mind something steady to hold on to. It also helps to talk about your fears. Many seniors don't want to admit they're scared. But saying it out loud, to your spouse, your daughter, or even your doctor, can make the fear feel smaller and more manageable. I remember a man named Howard, 80 years old, getting ready for heart surgery. He was physically strong, but mentally nervous. So he started journaling a few lines each day: his worries, his hopes, and what he wanted to do once he recovered. He told me later, "My body took time to catch up, but my mind already knew where we were going." Even small things like breathing exercises, prayer, or quiet reflection can shift your mindset from stress to healing. When your mind is steady, your body can follow. Because healing isn't just physical, it's emotional too. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is slow down, breathe, and remind yourself, you're ready for this. Here is the conclusion, written in a warm, encouraging tone that reflects everything shared in the video. It wraps things up meaningfully and invites the audience to reflect and engage. If there's one thing I hope you take from this video, it's that you are not powerless. Surgery after 70 can feel like a big mountain to climb, but you're not at the bottom of it without a map. You've got tools. You've got choices. And now, hopefully, you've got a little more clarity. From asking the right questions about anesthesia, to eating a little more protein, reviewing your medications, setting up support at home, and preparing your mind, every one of these steps matters. They may seem small on their own, but together, they can shape how well you recover and how confident you feel going in. You are not just a patient on a schedule. You're a partner in your own care. And when you show up with intention, preparation, and peace of mind, you give your body the best possible chance to come through stronger. Healing is not just about fixing what's broken. It's about giving your whole self, body, mind, and spirit, a chance to rest, recover, and rise again. And that begins before you even set foot in the hospital. So take a breath. Write down your questions. Call someone you trust. And know that whatever lies ahead, you are facing it with strength, wisdom, and courage that comes from a lifetime of experience. If you found this video helpful, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today or one thing you plan to do before your next procedure. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss more videos like this. Your support helps us keep making thoughtful content that informs, encourages, and truly speaks to people just like you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself. You matter. And we'll see you in the next video.